A sheikh. I want to be a sheikh, inshallah, when I grow up. What type of books should I read for
What,
knowledge?
why would you, Ariza, why would you want to be a sheikh?
Like, so I can guide people to Islam, and because I think that the ummah will be like more like they won't be close to Allah. So I want to guide non-Muslim and Muslim back to Allah. And I'm 12 years old. Do you have any advice for me, Sheikh?
Okay,
Jazaak.
first of all, being a sheikh or wanting to guide people to Islam is a very noble cause. However, this is step 3 or 4. Before that, you have to go from the bottom of the ladder from step 1, 2, 3, and then you may reach that stage, which means that at first you have to focus on attaining the knowledge for your own benefit so that you get closer to Allah, regardless of what others may benefit from that or not. So stage and step number 1 is to acquire knowledge for the sake of Allah. Secondly, to implement this knowledge in your life. As Allah stated in the Quran, فَعْلَمْ أَنَّهُ لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا اللَّهِ وَاسْتَغْفِرْ لِذَنْبِكَ. First, begin with knowledge, then act upon it. Afterwards, when you have walked the talk, you can focus on guiding people, on spreading this knowledge you have and sharing it with others. Where to begin? The sky is the limit. The first thing you should focus on is memorizing the Quran, knowing the meanings of it, the tafsir of the Quran, and the sciences surrounding it, which may necessitate that you, in parallel, study Arabic. Because you cannot be a sheikh, you cannot give fatwas, you cannot teach Islam without understanding Arabic. Otherwise, you'll be depending on some other people's translation, and this is not proper or even allowed for someone to give such verdicts without himself mastering the Arabic language and knowing the Quran himself. Also, you have to study Aqidah, and you start with the basics. So after going through a program of studying the tafsir of the Quran and knowing the vocabulary of the Quran and when and why such verses were revealed, what is abrogated and what is not abrogated and the likes, and memorizing the Quran, you should focus on issues of Aqidah. So you study the basics of Aqidah, the beautiful names of Allah Azza wa Jalla and His attributes. Also you study the concept of Tawheed, Al-Rububiyyah and Al-Uluhiyyah in the book of Tawheed, Kitab al-Tawheed by Sheikh Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab is one of the basics in the 101 in Tawheed. Also you can study the book of the 3 principal fundamentals, and as you go up you study Al-Aqidat al-Wasitiyyah and Al-Tahawiyyah. In fiqh you start with a particular school of thought and you take one concise book of that particular school of thought, regardless of what school you're studying. And then after you finish it, then you grow up to something bigger, and then you go up to comparing schools of thought together, and then you go to books like Bulugh al-Maram or Umdat al-Ahkam, where you can take the most authentic opinion from the hadith directly, so that you can filter all what you've studied throughout this methodology, and so on. But you cannot do this on your own. You need a sheikh, a tutor, a scholar who would mentor you and guide you throughout the way, insha'Allah Azza wa Jal.